Welcome to another edition of the Mike Cruz Unadulterated podcast, sponsored by Mike's Heart of Lemonade today. We have a very special guest in the studio today. We have Mr. Robert Esposito, author of Nobody Move Until Reading This, without reading this, and also owner of Relocators, which is actually a moving service. All right? Correct.
Full service.
Rob, thanks for taking the time to be on the show, man.
Thank you, Mike.
You had such an impressive thing when Chris reached out to me and your assistant, Lisa, and I hit the internet hard just to read about everything you're doing.
I appreciate that.
And, man, let me tell you something, Rob. It's impressive, man. It's impressive. And, again, thank you for taking your time being here. Rob, how did this start, man? How did this all start?
Thank you. And thank you for being here.
No, I appreciate you,
pleasure.
man.
Pleasure getting to know you. My mother was cleaning out my Nana's home in Queens, and she thought, like there must be a better way. My Nana was maybe, I guess you'd call her a hoarder now, but back then you'd say like a child of the Depression.
Okay.
And she put an ad in the paper, rolled stuff out, brings the money in, and let her show you where to begin. And with that, she like went from being a secretary to having an estate sale company. And I kind of just would like help her out on the weekends. And finally, I borrowed $4,000 for a box truck. I saw how fragmented the industry was, and I literally started Relocators from there.
So Relocators, it's not just a moving company. It's a service. Like it's a full service, not just moving the people and their furniture.
No, we try to be more end to end. We try to offer like a full solution to people. And if a parent passes away or you're downsizing, we can do an online auction. We could clean out the junk. We could store your stuff, ship it out of state. We also do restoration pack out. So we kind of hit the whole like narrative of stressful situations you find yourself in where you got to move stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
And with that $4,000 box truck, right?
Yeah.
So you helped your Nana move with that, and then you just started the business after that?
I came like 2 years later.
Really?
That's how she started, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure it out, I was maybe going to save up money to own a route or something. I didn't know. I was trying to figure out what to do.
And then that's it? Just clicked?
Yeah.
One day it just all clicked?
It just seemed like, my mother's clients, they'd call, and then when I started cleaning out the houses after, they would like cancel their flights and let me like choose the realtor and stuff. And I was 21 years old. So that to me was like, wait a second, like this is crazy. They're changing their flights from California, to let me handle it. And then it just became like a thing.
Wow. So as a kid, who's a big influence in your life? Like, do you think to help you where you're at right now?
So I worked at Vincent's Clam Bar. It was my main job growing up. And the two owners were like, they built it to like New York's #1 restaurant, and they're phenomenal. They mentored me as I was a waiter when I was first buying the box truck. I would ask them questions. They'd sit with me, take the time. And my dad was like tough with the work ethic, but it definitely like snapped me into it.
Yeah. And right, you're hands on with these clients, right? Like when they call in, I read a lot. Like you're so in touch of what's going on with your clients, with your employees and stuff like that?
I'm very in touch. I'm not operational, but I don't even need to be because the culture is there. And when I do need to, I know right away. Like they'll come to me and be like, this person's dealing with this. And right away I'll jump in and try to like help them, when I need to.
Yeah. It's, can I tell you, man, like I said, I did so much homework in the last couple of days. I saw the commercials, like one of your big referrals was Dee Schneider.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
How did that come about?
That came from Ron, who you know.
Okay.
A close friend of mine referred me to one of his friends who's a great guy, and his move wound up being a disaster out of my hands, but the way I was accountable for the situation, we remained close, and he always followed me and cheered me on, even though his situation didn't go great. In the end, it did. And years later, he wound up referring me to a rock star.
Wow.
It just goes to show you it's not about, like what happens. It's about how you handle it.
Yeah, I saw the commercial.
Yeah.
I saw the commercial with Dee, and I was like, holy shit. Like it was cool, man. It was cool how you become friendly with somebody and then they do that for you.
Yeah, he came here. We moved him from California to North Carolina. His whole family, actually.
Really?
Yeah, and then he flew up here and he did the commercial for us. So much appreciated.
Wow. And it's a tough business. Like I said, like we were talking before, like there's so many moving pieces when it comes when someone's relocating. People don't realize how much is involved with it.
Yeah, I mean, I say it all the time. Like, if you look, it's listed third biggest stressor, and it goes like death, divorce, moving, serious illness. But you're like, moving's a low end trade. Like, it's almost like a DIY. Like, how do you equate that to being so stressful? But it's not. It's the logistical side, but it's not. It's everything from like when your last kid goes away to college, and you're like, my home is too big, to like months years later through the move to months years later to you're settled again.
Yeah.
Like it's that whole like feeling of like uprooted and then being
Yeah.
home again.
Yeah. So that's what it comes to, like how important it is to find the right mover. Like you got people
Absolutely.
that have, that's their stuff. They cherish their stuff. It's very sentimental. How important is that to find the right guy to do the job?
Yeah, I mean, it's so important, and it's not just important because of your stuff. It's important because they're in your home, they're in your space. Like your roofer's never going through like
Yeah.
your intimate toy drawer. You know,
Yeah.
like your
Yeah.
deck builder's
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
moving a family heirloom. So
Yeah.
you got people that are up close and personal with you, and at the same time, they're literally taking your stuff and going away with it. Like where does that happen? The feds? You know, like
Yeah.
like no one ever comes in your house and just takes all your stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a dynamic situation. It definitely is.
So now with the moving part of it, and so when you go, so it's like a sales rep that goes in, does like gives an estimate, goes to the house, gets an idea what's going on. If you need, I guess, your stuff wrapped, packed, and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we do as much or as little as the client would like,
Okay.
and we send in estimators, and they try to, be as open and transparent as they can be based on what you tell them.
Yeah.
Because think about it too, like when you estimate a deck, you estimate a deck. When
Yeah.
you estimate a move, you're lucky if you see a third of it. You don't know the traffic to the second
Yeah.
location. You don't know what the second location is going to look like. You come there and there's like an elevator to a basement parking garage. You don't know. So you got to be as communicative as possible, and even then, it's just really about communication the whole way through
Yeah.
and having someone.
I was thinking about that. I was like, well, you kind of know because you went to the first location. Now you get to the second
Yeah,
location, and listen, people ain't as honest as they want to be sometimes, and they make the job a little more difficult.
or they just are misguided in themselves. Like I remember after '08, like a lot of people were downsizing like crazy, and you'd have these people in 6,000 square foot houses, and they don't want to get rid of anything, and they're moving into a 2,000 square foot house.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
there's that whole aspect of it.
Yeah. So another question: how influential are you on the move, like with the client and stuff like that?
In culture, I'm influential. I see every job across the board, so I check in like with my operations manager every day. When something's going on, I like jump in and guide them, but I don't. I'm not operational on the actual day-to-day business, but
Yeah.
every single day I'm making sure like, did this job go well? What happened? What's upcoming? So I see the very beginning and the very end to make sure that the experience was what we wanted to be.
Yeah. That's huge.
That's what's the most
And this is a big referral business, correct?
huge.
It
huge,
is.
Huge.
And like with that, and making certain connections with people, and you want to get a referral, especially with a mover, because
Absolutely.
you not even move like a relocator, because there are horror stories out there
Yeah.
that you hear of, man, and sad. I just saw the commercial, the thing you showed me on Channel 12 with that one lady.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now you don't know. Like you go to Google and you think you're clicking on a company and you're clicking on a broker because they like jump in somehow. Like
Oh,
that's what happened with that lady. So
really?
yeah, it's tough. You gotta. The moms groups. I said it years ago, and like the moms group scares me how powerful they'll be.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they're that powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Oh, yeah. I seen it. I seen a couple of those
Yeah.
groups, and they stick together, but
Yeah.
yeah, they look out for each other.
It's important.
It
Yep.
is. It is. It is. It is very important. So, your brand, Relocators, how did you build it into what it is now? Like, what was the formula to get it this massive?
So it's funny you asked that because it wasn't until recently I realized how well it worked and how like serendipitous it was. I actually came up with the name because I was listening to the song "Regulators" by Warren G.
Oh,
and
okay,
they had
yeah,
incorporated.
yeah.
So like now seeing it years later, like the name is so powerful because it's not like you're just a mover. Like we're just relocating everything.
Yeah.
I think that just worked out, and the whole brand itself, like we really try to just make sure like we care more about like you knowing that we care than we do like if we make a mistake and break something. Like we'll easily pay for that and make sure it's right, but just you knowing that like we're there to do the right thing and to make it as less stressful as possible for you is what our whole culture is about.
Yeah, like we were talking before, moving. When I think about moving, I think about moving a lot. And I look at all my stuff, I'm like, oh man, there's no way. There's no way. It's got to be like, I read you had the 12-step thing and how stressful moving can be. And just by reading that, it brought back memories when I did move.
Did it? Yeah.
And it was, man, it was stressful.
It is.
You got your kids running around, the front door's open, the dog's running out the front door,
Even me, I just did a major reconstruction in my house, and I have 3 kids and a dog.
Yeah.
And they worked for a year. We lived there. We never even moved out.
Yeah.
Just the stuff my wife sent to storage that I own, that we didn't have luggage. We didn't have, and we're like, oh, we didn't account for this.
Yeah.
We didn't account for this.
Yeah.
And that part of it, and I'm like,
yeah, man.
it's frustrating.
Yeah, man.
When you don't have all your stuff where your stuff.
Where it is,
you know?
yeah. So do you do a lot of out-of-state stuff? Do you a lot of things out of state?
A lot of East Coast, yes.
Oh, you do? Really?
Yeah, we're in Florida, and we have a big clientele in Florida because we've been going there for so long. So
Wow, good for you.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of referral business, right? Too, right?
absolutely,
It's gotta be.
referral.
It's
A lot
gotta
of
be.
network. Show me your network. I'll
It
show
is,
you
right?
your network.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I saw a gala thing you guys did.
Yeah, here.
With the tent and stuff like that. What was
Yeah.
that, Rob? What
It was
that?
in the back.
Oh, it was here?
600 people.
Wow, you did
Yeah.
it here, man.
Yeah. It was
Good
great.
for you.
You got to come to the next one.
Oh, I'm 100%.
Yeah,
100%, man. 100%. So, where you're at today in life, what made you the man you are today? Like, what was, you said your dad was big influential with his work ethic and stuff like that. What other influence do you think that made you, become so successful and build this brand to where it's at?
I think I just was always a people watcher. Like I was always in awe of the human experience.
Yeah.
And my parents were both like that, and both of my parents had they were great. They are great people, people. And my dad though with work, he wouldn't let me not finish something.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was 13, I raked leaves with my 2 friends, and we were all going to get $150 each. And the second day, he called me from Harlem. He didn't live with me,
Yeah.
and he was from his firehouse, and he was like, "How's it going?" I'm like, "We didn't do it. We couldn't get the riding mower in the backyard." And he's like, "Hell no." And he kept me at this house for a month by myself, scared me to death.
Yeah.
And in the end, instead of giving me $450 for all 3 of them, the guy gave me $850, and I became a millionaire that
Yeah.
day. I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
how it works.
Yeah.
I was 12 years old.
Yeah. Man.
So
yeah.
that type of work, we finish it, and the guys are all like that. They do not. There's no clocking out. There's no we have to eat lunch. They've seen everything, and they will just keep going.
Yeah.
Especially the older foremen who I worked with 15 years ago. They have that ethic where whatever it takes, we're gonna get this done for you. You know?
Yeah. Before we did this interview, I talked to your assistant Lisa, and can I tell you, I just met her just coming in here. Yeah. You could just tell she has your back.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She was very dedicated. She goes, "Hey, Mike, blah blah blah." I was like, you know what? I appreciate. I told Chris, I appreciate her.
Yeah.
I appreciate how she, how we spoke and stuff like that, and she spoke highly of you.
Thank you.
And when you appreciate when you hear an employee say that to someone outside without the employee being there,
Yeah,
you kind of know what you're walking into, man. And
exactly.
it was refreshing to see that.
Yeah.
Now the book, man. How did nobody move without reading this? How did that happen?
No, but the book's evolving. I mean, what happened was I wanted to write about the being a business owner for the kids starting out.
Yeah.
The American dream is dead. How could you say that? imagine if you had to look something up, you go to the library, and ask what the Dewey Decimal System is. Like, the American dream's not dead. It's as easy as it is hard for other areas. And just the stuff that was coming across my desk, not being on the jobs all the time, I was like, this industry is just so, like, people are going through it. So I tried to write it just to give it away. And Ron and me had lunch like a few weeks before I was going to self-publish it. And from that meeting, he surprised me the next day. And from there, it's just become like a thing. And now, it's evolved into apps and education, real estate education. I've been developing, and CRM, and all kinds of products for every demographic. We got activity books for kids that going into elementary, going into middle school, same emotions. It's the change. It's change. My kids cry when the bus driver they say goodbye to, So I was seeing the same kind of like feelings as clients that were leaving neighbors, And now we're doing like activity book for elderly people, like going into assisted livings and stuff. So trying to really be like that voice for like the transitions we go through in life,
Yeah. So you see a lot of that stuff, I guess, when you go into a home, a spouse deceased, and then another spouse is maybe going into an elderly home, and then you have to do the estate sale. There's a lot of emotions and sentimental value that comes with that, right?
Bedrooms, like, you can't touch. No one could touch it, but she knows you're going in to touch it because you have to touch it. Like, that sucks.
Man. I actually went to one, and I was like, I felt bad buying the guy's desk.
Yeah.
The guy's like, hey, this is my dad's desk. I was like, wow, it's a desk. And I said, how much is? He goes, I said, there's a number on there. That can't be right. He goes, no, it's right. I'm like, dude, like, I gotta buy that for $10.
Yeah.
I cannot buy it now for $10.
Yeah. And that's exactly that's what I was raised in, seeing people like they just telling you the story of the piece means you can now buy it. You don't have to pay the money, they get the privilege of telling you the story and knowing you want it.
So you saying the thing about Vincent's, right? Working at Vincent's, that definitely helped you, right?
Without a doubt.
100%. Being a way to communicate with people.
Yeah.
Knowing their wants and needs, man.
Seeing everybody, knowing like who's saved all month for a date and who just hates each other and they're going out because they have to. You know what I mean?
They're going through
the emotions.
They're just going through the motions to go for date night.
Who's showing up Friday with this person and Saturday with this person, the whole nine. Yeah, absolutely.
Rob, how long did the book take?
So I wrote the first 10,000 words when I was going to self-publish it in about a year. And then when it got picked up, I hired like a British scholar lady that does ghostwriting to take it to 80,000 words. And when I got it back, it wasn't my voice. It wasn't what I wanted. So I actually wrote 70,000 words in 6 to 8 weeks.
Wow.
I just went to town, like around the clock. And that's what got it to where I wanted it to be. And so it was a year for like an eighth of it, and then the rest was like in like 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's got a cool setup where it's horror story, advice, hacks, conclusions. You just skip the hacks and just read it through as a book,
Yeah. So tell us about the 12 steps.
So the 12 steps are for the real estate industry, but it's about the transitional portion. So a lot of the work I do now is working with education to say that, hey, the real estate industry needs to own the transition portion. They have all this great education and laws for the milestone of the transaction, but people get left there, and a great realtor, they're not appreciated because what happens after is the client forgets because they're living in this feeling of all the stress they're going through with the move, and now they had just left.
Yeah.
So a lot of what I'm developing is about like early on banking low stressors for bigger ones that are going to come, or like you said with the dad's workbench. Every house, there's a closing, and with 10 professionals on the deal, both sides, 5 each, you can't predict when the closing is going to be 2 weeks out. And a closing then gets messed up because a guy is too emotionally tied to his dad's workbench, and you don't have the junk removal guys throw it out. And now they got to delay it a day. That creates this domino effect, and it goes until a house can afford the house they're buying without selling the house they're in.
Yeah.
Happens every day.
Yeah.
When it happens, there's no support for the individual. All the support is to get back to the transaction, and you have this client who's living in a transition where maybe their kids start school the next day. They're going to a state. Their stuff's already on a truck to another state.
Yeah.
So all the education we're doing is to prepare for that moment and then nurture them through post-close, a day after the move, 90 days out, settling in the new house, finding new vendors, finding new neighbors, finding the right community, and just making sure that like the realtor becomes somebody that they go to. Even when they're moving out of state, the realtor's giving them vendors in the new state because they're their go-to for that. And that's kind of the education we're focusing on now with the 12 steps.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. When I read that, I was like, this isn't just a moving company. This is a relocating
Nobody
company.
moved part, no.
Yeah.
We're trying to make it much different.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing because you hear stories, man. Like I told you, we talked before, moving guys, whatever, not really caring about the client. But when I saw this and Chris told me, I was like, Chris, I started jumping in and doing my homework. I was like, whoa. I said, Chris, I'm impressed, man.
Thank you.
This is something totally
It means
different.
a
Like
lot to me.
I never knew this part of this business.
Yeah,
But now that I
there
do,
isn't.
it's pretty amazing, man. How you got it set up.
And that's the thing, there isn't. And I appreciate you saying that. Like my whole thing is like, it's missing,
Yeah.
like it's just like, oh, we moved. But, every single human being moves 7 to 11 times in their life.
Yeah.
And like, we focus more on, like buying a car or something, like the safety nets and the things to put in, or like, even like, think about it. Like it's symbolic to hand over your keys at closing, right?
Yeah.
Like, how dumb is that?
Yeah.
You know how many people have the keys to that house?
Yeah.
Like, you should be forced to get a locksmith day one.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's so many things
Yeah.
that you're like, why
didn't
does
think
this
about that.
happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know?
I
So,
think about too, like how stressful it is now. You have a client, right, who they're moving into another home, and that home is occupied by the old owners. Now they're delayed or they're closing. Now this customer's ready to close, but that customer's house they're moving to is not ready to close. Like that's got to be such a
that's
stressful
the domino effect
right?
I'm telling you about. And that's the part I'm trying to educate on the real estate side. Not, I'm saying to them, like, putting this on the moving side is terrifying to me.
Yeah.
It needs to be on your side because this is too important. Like, you know how many times I've saved people thousands because they've called me and, Rob, I can't get in my new house, but I have to close today. The other person's closing got messed up. And I'll be like, call your realtor, ask if you could put the stuff in the backyard or in the garage and
Yeah.
you can pay rent on it. And I'll save them $5,000 just by saying that.
Yeah.
So there's all these little tricks that you learn that, like, there's no standard or system for it. And that's what nobody moves
Really.
going to become. Yeah.
So like I when I was a kid, I remember a friend of mine moved out of state, and I remember talking to him on the phone, and he gave me his dad's cell number. I was like, "Hey man, what's the house number?" He goes, "Mike, it got delayed. We're in a hotel,
Yep.
extended stay, because they closed and they had to go into an extended stay for like 2 months."
Yep. That's what I'm
Is that
talking about.
common, Rob?
Yes.
You see that's
It's
happen?
really common.
Really?
Yep.
Now the expense of something like that, does that fall on?
Homeowner.
It does.
Everything. Yep.
Really?
Yep. Maybe if it's a situation where something in the contract with the house they were buying, but you're talking like the right real estate lawyer, the right circumstances. Either way, even if the hotel's paid for,
Yeah.
how many meals is that for a family? You know?
Yeah.
Like how
you're not
many?
cooking
Like
in
you
there.
ain't cooking in
You're
that.
not cooking in a
Yeah.
hotel. Wow.
Exactly.
Wow, when I heard that story, it brought me back as we're talking. I was like, I remember a friend of mine being in an extended stay hotel because the house they were moving into, the previous owners weren't ready to leave
Yep.
because they got delayed on their new home. Like the domino effect.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's such a complex ecosystem, and the idea that like we leave this to almost chance, like a layman to navigate, it's crazy to me, and that's what Nobody Moves all about. Like it's not like don't move. It's hold up. We got to tell you something before you go
Yeah.
ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
pump the brakes.
you need
man.
this.
Yeah, pump the brakes and
That's
listen a
all
little
it
bit.
is.
That's such a. It's great. Like I never thought about that. Like you need someone to guide you through a move because it's a big thing in your life.
Yeah. Like even what I was just telling you about with the construction, the guy came to do my carbon monoxide detectors. Now I'm here saying to the world all the time, don't even let your kids sleep in the house until the smoke alarms are checked and the carbon monoxide detectors are checked. And the guy comes and wires mine last week. The whole family's on the porch at 4 a.m. They won't go off. The house is screaming, and I'm like, dude, how do I shut these off? He ain't answering his phone. I'm
Yeah.
like, I should have asked.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't know how to shut these off. They ain't going off right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
Yeah. So relocators now. You have any idea of maybe expanding it more, or like is a franchise even an option for something like that, or no?
I tried that like 10 years
Oh,
ago.
you did? Okay.
Yeah, I wound up not loving the idea because it was like too intimate what we were doing.
Yeah.
Or I came back for commercial properties, and that's kind of what I focused on, and we do that with storage.
Yeah.
Now we ventured out and do like maybe corporate locations. I'll do
Okay.
something like a franchise model.
Okay.
We're doing it in Florida. We have a satellite, so I mean we're definitely expanding in
Yeah.
the tri-state area and Florida.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because as I read like how entailed you are with your stuff and how you do business, so franchise would be hard because now you're letting someone else do your model with your name.
Yeah, it's not like a 20-year-old in a Cold Stone could run it. You know what I mean? You need somebody like that care. Like I have this picture of like the realtor wife and the contractor husband who like own a Relocators in Virginia.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
something like that I would do.
Yeah, I read part of the thing where you said your favorite part of the Bronx there was that scene with Now You Can't Leave.
Yeah, the door.
That's a cool spot.
Yeah,
and Chris told me you got the picture in your office, right?
Yep.
Oh, it's awesome.
I know, and you have a friend that was in it.
Yeah.
He showed me the guy.
Yeah. But it's a great model, man. Like Chaz, like he's another guy, man. Like Chaz is a self-made guy, man, who believed in himself and look what he did. He believed in his product and he wouldn't give it up for anybody.
No, and that's like his life story, right?
That's his story, man. You ever see he does a one-man show?
Yeah.
You ever see it?
Yep.
It's amazing.
I have a picture with him.
It's amazing. I saw it in Patchogue.
Oh,
I was
did?
blown away. It was
man. Awesome. I saw it at the Paramount.
You saw it at the Paramount, right?
Yeah, it was great.
It's amazing. And Rocky did the same thing. That's how he sold Rocky.
Yep.
The same way, man. These guys did it.
I know, that's crazy.
And it's a blueprint for people. You know what? I tell people it's a blueprint because anything in life's achievable, but you got to want it and you got to do the work.
Rocky has a video, and I'm watching. Like he's like my idol. I'm in podcast talking about him years ago, and I'm watching his documentary, and all of a sudden he's like stuck in life, and he's like, he's moving to Palm Springs, and I'm just sitting there like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
This guy's talking about moving is going to get him out of his headspace right now, and it was like, I can't believe he's saying it. Like, this is my idol.
When he moved to California, right to Florida,
It's in his Netflix documentary.
Yeah, I saw it.
Talking about, well, when you need to get out, just take all your stuff, ball it up, and go across the country. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I
is
saw
he really
that, man.
saying this right now?
I saw that. Man.
Yeah.
I saw it. Like
it was so funny.
God, man. Like that's how. Look,
I can't believe he's saying that.
And he's look at all the money he's got. Like how he thinks. He knows. He knows.
And when he's stuck, like he's stuck.
Yeah.
The guy's created 3 mega franchises.
Man.
Incredible.
Yeah. So how many businesses are you in charge of right now? I heard 11. Was it 11? Was the number?
With holdings and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 11, but there's like 3 main like operational.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's also I read where you help the children too. There's another type of
the woman who does my brand development with me.
Yeah.
She's 20 years and she does not have a disabled kid.
Yeah.
League of Yes, and I'm on her board and I'm getting really big into it now the more I see. And she runs a baseball league for kids with disabilities, which is awesome.
Really?
Awesome. Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah, disability with kids is it's definitely touching, especially when you see the kids, you see the family, the unit. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You look
just
at
the
life different.
idea, like it made me realize, like when we're, bitching about driving our kids here and back, like people don't get to, complain about that. Like that's what opened my eyes.
You see a kid that's in a wheelchair and you're changing him, you're feeding him constantly, 24-hour supervision. When you see that, it definitely, you go home and you kiss your kid right in the forehead and say,
100%.
Hey, I don't have it as bad. When we think we do, we really don't.
Yeah, Christine, she does League of Yes, and I mean, hats off to her.
Yeah.
We try to support her like it's our own because she is our own. So.
Yeah. So what's the future, man? What's the future hold for you with the book and everything, and the business and relocators? What do you,
Relocators is relocators. Relocators is, you know, the baby, but nobody moved. Like, I see that as like a new iteration into society, like
Yeah.
a new level of like, this can be the most consumer advocacy platform there is, because there's this, you know, entire infrastructure that has this gap where, you know, people are transitioning, and where each mega structure leaves off and takes on, there's people left there, and I want to, you know, be a voice for that with nobody moving. Whatever we can do to support both industries to bridge that gap is what my goal is with nobody.
and Rob, and with the app, how does the app work for someone who wants to use the app?
So the app is like 400 plus steps from 120 days out to immediately the day of the move to post close 90 days. And what it does is there's like 20 downloadable sheets, and there's AI to all my publications
Yeah.
that will, you can answer any question, emotional or logistical. And it just tells you things like everything you need utility wise to check off. Make sure you have 3 milliliter garbage bags, because the old homeowner might have taken a garbage pails. You might not have toilet paper. You need to order food the day one. Like anything you could think of, have the box for your chargers separate so you can plug in your phones in the new house.
Yeah.
Anything you could think of, from the like idiosyncrasy stuff to the important stuff to the stuff that will save you thousands. Like you could pick your own title company. It's all there. So
Wow.
it's extensive.
Wow. Rob, I got to tell you something, man. Sitting with you with this time, it's impressive, man. And you know what, man? And it's expiring for these kids. A $4,000 box truck. How old were you when you got that truck?
41. And I was
No,
22.
You were 22 with the box
Yeah,
truck.
21 years.
So a $4,000 box truck turned into all this, man.
Absolutely.
And you saw, man, it's impressive. And the book, we can get the book on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles, and the Audibles on Spotify.
Yep, Spotify Premium.
Good stuff, man.
Thank you, Mike.
Rob, I appreciate your time, man. You're an impressive
you.
individual, and you could just tell people's energy when you meet them, and you got that energy, man.
Same.
And I appreciate your time, man. And I wish you nothing but the best for your family, your companies, and anything you're involved with, man.
Thank you, Mike.
All
You
right.
too.
Thank you.